Finland to a lot of people means the savage splendor and natural vistas of Lapland. But I've been to Swedish Lapland, and it's cold. I almost asphyxiated in a freezing tent with my crew. So no Lapland this trip. Instead, Lappi for the full Lapland dining experience, without all that uncomfortable camping and freezing and choking to death on fumes from your heater in an enclosed tent. But I digress. Like reindeers? I do. I like them on my plate, while Santa looks on with mute horror from the chair where he's duct-taped and ball-gagged.
Eat here all the time? I'm guessing this restaurant's all about reindeer.
Pretty much.
Well, what do you say?
I say let's get the smoked reindeer and assortment of things.
Right. And then the Lappish game selection for two?
That's right.
Ice cold Koskenkorva. It's kind of the Finnish vodka with the frozen cranberry.
Thank you. Yeah. Hate reindeers, by the way, they're pests. Hate Santa too. Santa
Absolutely.
and reindeers. I'm a Krampus guy. Yeah, good morning. It's like vodka, dude.
Yeah, but it's made out of rye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Koskenkorva is the national, they call it the pocket warmer, because everybody walks around with a half-drunk warm bottle of Koskenkorva with this stuff. And it's usually better when it's pocket warm.
Yeah. Salmon tartare, air-dried reindeer, delicious cheese, reindeer carpaccio, marinated something or other, and whitefish roe. Wow.
That's pretty cool looking. That's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love roe.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
I'm thinking the fish it rode in on. Yeah. Awesome. This is really, really good. Mm-hmm. How many people live in Finland? What's the population?
5 million.
You held off the entire Soviet Union with a quarter of the population of Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Sisu is it's supposedly the quality in Finland that, people have over here. That, no matter how hard gets, you just don't roll over and whine. But Sisu, it's guts and not give up and bullheadedness all rolled into one. It's an inner quality. We pride ourselves to that kind of stuff, and, I can drink 3 bottles of vodka, no problem. Or I can ski for 80 miles in freezing snow.
Are these valuable everyday skills?
I think so.
Braised reindeer, reindeer sausage, and a great big hunk of roasted reindeer.
Wow, that's awesome looking.
Yes.
Yeah, what is that?
It's sauteed, I think,
veggies.
hams and carrots.
Right. That's great.
What was the sausage again?
Reindeer.
Sausage. Reindeer.
Reindeer is delicious.
Mm-hmm. It can be done in many different
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Into that.
Every time I come to Malaysia, there's one thing I gotta have. Laksa. It's everything I love in one bowl.
Ordinarily, I don't like talking to the camera. I find it stagey, artificial, awkward, and increasingly painful. But I want to share this with you. The joy of a simple bowl of noodles and spicy stuff. Laksa. I've only had the kuching stuff in Borneo. I've never had this, and all the smart-ass foodies say that this is the wow. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Now, I would be criminally remiss if I didn't tell you what was in this bloody magnificent dish. So, for the record, there's this, and also some of this, and this, also lots and lots of this. Not to rub it in, but you just cannot have too much of this. Oh no, got to have it. Did I mention these? No, that too. And that's all it is.
Wow, this is herbier with a more sour component. Strong fish stock. Almost like a southern French fish stock. Made from mackerel, I believe. That is really good looking. If you like noodles and spicy stuff that comes in a bowl, you would really like this. Imagine a world without traditional fast food outlets, the usual suspects clogging up our mini malls. Imagine we had individually owned and operated joints serving stuff like this all over America. Can you imagine how delicious that would be? That is like hearty, spicy. Look at that magical broth they got simmering away over there. The laksa part refers to the noodles. Assam refers to the tamarind component. Making a more sour flavor profile, probably traceable to Thai influence. I actually know what I'm talking about. Well, they told me 5 minutes earlier. Wow, I almost said yummy there. What is happening to me?
And along much of the coast of Mozambique, through good times and bad, what they always had was an abundance of incredible seafood. Zira is known as the best cook on the island. Every morning she heads down to the beach to see what's come in.
The cooking is really a mix because you have spices traditionally going back to other Portuguese colonies, to Southeast Asia, Latin America, all Arab influence as well. This is a very different cuisine than you'd find elsewhere in Africa.
A pretty extravagant spread by most standards, and for people living in the interior, completely out of reach.
Is there as much fish as you need? Is there enough fish for everybody?
If you go then along the coast, there is still enough fish for everybody. A problem is the transport then,
Because it's hot?
Yeah,
And
because
you
it's
need
hot.
refrigerated
You
trucks.
need refrigerated trucks. That pushing up the price, and then the people in the interior already cannot pay for it anymore.
Right.
Zira is cooking for me and a few of her friends, as well as Carlos and Uver, who came here 10 years ago on vacation and never left.
I was looking actually for some people going with me through Namibia, but there was nobody who wants to go to Namibia, only people that wanted to go to Mozambique, so let's go to Mozambique.
The meal plays out like an overview of Mozambique's culinary history.
That sauce, I'm telling you,
From the
it's some good.
Crab curry, maybe the country's most famous fusion dish. Fresh local crabs stewed with chili, lemon, garlic, cardamom, coriander. Flavors that came here via the spice route from India and became essential components of local cuisine.
Wow. It's good, huh? Coconut milk in there?
that is never missing.
Never missing, it's in
Almost
everything.
everything.
In addition to the abundant use of coconut milk, it's the beloved local hot pepper, piri piri, that makes these dishes uniquely Mozambican.
Calamari, squid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Calamari, or lulas, battered and fried. No doubt that this, like tempura, was a Portuguese innovation.
What kind of fish is this?
This is xereu and
Peixe vermelho, yeah.
The fish is cleaned and scored, rubbed with salt, pepper, lemon juice, and garlic butter, then grilled over charcoal.
E milho de peixe, né? E mandioca.
Fish stew with manioc.
Yeah.
Sardine?
Okay, sardines, yeah.
And to top it off,
Wow, look at that.
wow.
I think we need another table.
Mozambique's famous giant crayfish, basted and grilled.
My God, that thing's enormous. Is this normal?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of these.
Yeah, a lot of these.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, attack.
This fish is awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
I stop in Tokyo before Cook It Raw begins to see how the city I know well is doing. This is Ivan Orkin, a most untraditional candidate to be cooking that most beloved everyday Japanese dish right in the heart of Tokyo, ramen. He moved here 10 years ago, studied under the masters, and opened up a small place. Now, he's kind of famous.
How were you welcomed initially?
I think that people thought I was out of my mind, but ramen is the only Japanese cuisine where there is no rule book. And if it tastes good, you got a hit on your hands.
He's just opened his second shop and is an accepted part of the community. He didn't leave when things got tough around here.
What was it like here during the earthquake?
You know, it was very similar to 9/11. All the subways were shut down. and everybody started walking home. Some people walked home, 20, 30 miles, and our shop was just open. And so we had people who were exhausted and, saw that we were open and sort of hopped in, and we were just packed for hours and hours.
How's Tokyo doing now?
I think things have changed quite a lot. I think there's that underlying feeling of fear, Is there gonna be another big earthquake? Is there radiation we don't know about? But you know what? We're all stuck here. This is home.
Ivan does more or less one thing very, very well. And he respects others who choose to do one thing very, very well. So he's taking me to a particularly good and particularly old example of a guy who keeps doing it old school year after year.
What's going on here? What is this place?
It's a really traditional unagi place where the guy butchers, if you will, the eel, and they serve all the different parts.
Basically, they kill it, they butcher it, they grill it.
Right.
The sound of eel preparation is the rhythmic thwack of the nail through the head and the zip sound of steel through body.
They put a spike in the eye, and they pull that eel down, and then they break it down.
From the back, though.
From the back, I understand, in Tokyo.
Right.
Unlike in Osaka, where they do from the belly.
What's the difference?
It's more polite, maybe?
But they serve it all the organs as well?
Yes, it's sort of nose-to-tail dining, if you will.
Literally. Not too many places like this left. This is very old school.
Now, a lot of places like this, you'd come in and, you'd go till 2 in the morning, and you'd be eating and drinking all night, but this place closes promptly at 9 p.m.
So you're here for eel, or you're not here at all?
I'm not here at all. So this is the liver. So this is the fillet from the back.
Right.
And then you can see that they wrap it around the whole skewer, and then they grill it. So it's used together once they grill it.
Mmm. And this?
That's the guts.
Ugly, but tasty.
Yeah. This is the dried liver. A little squeezed little ponzu on top of this, a little bit of a spicy radish on top.
Wow, very fatty.
Yes.
When you're talking liver, it's always that sort of rich, creamy texture. Huh? I hate using the word unctuous.
It's supposed to have a negative connotation.
Well, if you're talking about a politician, you don't want him to be unctuous. Food, sometimes good. Mm. This is what I love about this town, is that, this is a pretty innocuous storefront here, right? You don't know it's there unless somebody told you. You walk in and they're doing this very niche, micro-genre thing.
Right.
And they've been doing it for 60 years, doing it well. Yeah. Who knew? Love it here. So, I'm feeling like the Colonel,
Oh, the Colonel, wow.
Yeah.
what?
KFB.
KFB, baby. Yeah, the Colonel. I like my chicken from Kentucky Fried. Buches. Yeah, Buches.
Buches is what, that next?
Yeah, it's the next of the chicken.
And Kentucky Fried Buches are the legendary late-night snack for low-rent, cheap-ass, cheap thrill, rip at the meat and gnaw on the bone like, well, me. Just grab some fresh tortillas and the truly amazing fresh salsa and scare that alcohol right out of your brain.
Nice. What do you just peel the meat off the bone?
Yeah. Grab some salsa.
Hey, it slips right off. This is good. I like this.
I used to come a lot to this bar over here. And I was passing, I say, oh man, it was kind of look good, but I was kind of scared, no. So once I dropped my prejudice thoughts and I say, well, let's try it. Right.
If this was in my neighborhood in New York, I'd be very happy. To the Colonel, he's not selling any necks. But maybe he should. Maybe he should.
But no rest for the weary, just one more stop before bed.